Hi Andrea. So I've got your extra tasks here, which you sent in to us, which is perfect. And the first part that you had was to compare these maps. Okay. Now, what I've looked at so far is really good and definitely showing some progression. So fantastic work. I can see how hard you're working on this, and I know it's not easy at all. So really, really well done for your continued effort here. Let's have a look at your writing about the maps then. So let's have a read through. These two maps describe the project of construction of several buildings on a small island with a coast perimeter of about 500 meters. The island will undergo some changes, which will eliminate some green areas and build many touristic facilities. 3 main buildings will be built in the centre of the island: a shopping centre, a 5-star hotel and a restaurant, and each of them will be connected though a track suitable for vehicles. In the mid-eastern part of the island, some trees will be cut and substituted by 8 tourist accommodations built in a circular fashion. A lake will arise in the most eastern area of the island. In the west part of the island, 6 other accommodations will replace some trees, and they will be connected both with the central facilities and the west coast beach by a footpath. Finally, a pier will be constructed in the southwestern coast of the island with the purpose to host yachts and sailboats. Overall, this small island is going to witness substantial changes, which have the aim of improving tourism in this area. Okay, good work. I saw in your email that you said that there wasn't a question with this one, so you've thought of it as a project and you've kept to that in your writing, which is good. Let's have a look at the writing slightly more closely. Okay, so these two maps describe the project of construction of several buildings on a small island with a coastal coastal perimeter of about 500 meters. Well done. Good. That's a good part to put in there. The island will undergo some changes, undergo some changes, which will eliminate some green areas and build many tourist facilities. Okay, or we could say facilities for tourists. Okay. Good, well done. So you've kept consistent with the tense that you are using. Okay, so saying about the future, will undergo, will eliminate, which is good. Well done. A nice use of undergo as well. The only thing we have to remember is with undergo, we don't use to. So undergo some changes, undergo change, undergo a transformation, etc. Well done. Good. We could say that this verb, we could change it. So these two maps show the construction project of several buildings on a small island. Or we could even say these two maps show the proposed, because we're talking in the future, as you've seen these maps, you're talking about the future. So the proposed construction project, so of a construction project that is in planning. Okay. 3 main good. So 3 main, M-A-I-N, main buildings will be built in the centre of the island. A shopping centre, a 5-star hotel, and a restaurant. And each of them will be connected through, T-H-R-O-U-G-H, a track suitable for vehicles. Well done. Good. Nice use of suitable for vehicles there. In the mid-eastern part of the island, some trees will be cut and substituted by 8 tourist accommodations built in a circular fashion. Okay, good. Good, okay. A lake will arise. So a lake will be constructed or will be built. Okay, in the most eastern area of the island. Good. In the west part of the island, 6 other accommodations will replace some trees, and they will be connected both with the central facilities and the west coast beach by a footpath. Footpath is all one word. This one here, footpath. Okay, good. Well done. Good. Now, you've used a lot of directions here, which is good. So in the mid-eastern, in the east, in the west, etc. We could vary that slightly and say, for example, here in the west part of the island, we could say towards the west of the island, just to vary our structures slightly. Good, by a footpath. Finally, a pier will be constructed in the south, on the southwestern coast, so on the southwestern coast of the island, with the purpose of hosting yachts and sailboats. Okay, now, one thing that has come up a little is the repetition of the island, because we've got that a few times in here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so is there a way that we can vary that? 5, actually there's one up here as well. Okay, so because we're talking about the maps, it's not that we have to distinguish the island from anything else on the map. So you could leave that out in some of those sentences and say a pier will be constructed on the southwestern coast with the purpose of hosting yachts and sailboats. Okay, because it eliminates any confusion, because the only diagram we have are islands. So it sometimes this part is surplus. We don't always need that bit. Okay. Overall, good. This small island is going to witness substantial changes, well done, which have the aim of improving tourism in this area. Well done. Yeah, a really nice finishing sentence there. Not too long, but very to the point. Good vocabulary, so to witness substantial changes is great. Well done. Very good work there. Kids, let's move on to your next piece then. So this is your second piece of writing on green energy. So your question was, nowadays most green energy is becoming ever more ever more prevalent in both developed and developing countries. Some argue they greatly reduce costs and are better for the environment. Others believe they are a serious threat to energy security. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Okay, good. Let's look at your introduction. We're assisting to deep changes in energy production. Green energy sources such as the sun, winds and rivers are being increasingly utilised both in developed and in the third world countries. Although some people argue that this process can carry negative effects on energy security, I firmly believe that green energy production is to be considered as an efficient and a compulsory solution in order to preserve the environment. Okay, well done. I can see that you're trying to use some varied language and different structures here, which is really good to see. Let's look at it more closely and see if there's anything we can improve. The first part is this verb here. We are assisting to deep changes. What we would say here, instead of assisting, perhaps we are witness. So we can see, we are witness to significant changes in energy production. Okay. Or we could even be slightly more specific and say nowadays we are witness to significant changes in energy production, just to make sure that you're making it clear we're talking about now. Okay. I would use a full stop after that one. So significant changes in energy production, full stop. Green energy sources, so capital G, such as the sun, wind, and water, instead of rivers, water, are being increasingly utilised both in developed and in third world countries. So here we don't need the possessive there, so third world countries. Or you could say both in developed and developing countries. Okay, it's quite a nice turn of phrase to use to encompass both developed and poor countries as well. Although some people argue that this process can have negative effects on energy security, I firmly believe that green energy production is to be considered, well done, nice phrase there in the passive, it's very good, is to be considered an efficient, so no as, an efficient and compulsory, take out the A, solution in order to preserve the environment. Well done, fantastic. Okay, some very good phrases in there. Also, it's not too long. You've managed to describe the question in a little bit more detail to show you've understood it, and then you've given your opinion. We could argue that you could outline what this essay is going to do. But that would be at the risk of making your introduction too long. So it could be that you have to take out a little bit of detail in order to put part in saying this essay will. Okay. However, I think it is a well-rounded introduction on its own. Okay. Let's look at the first paragraph then of your main part. Admittedly, nice use of that one, green energy could be associated with increased production costs. Good. It's particularly good to use a shorter sentence at the start of a paragraph, like this one, because it shows your point very clearly. Okay, so this is good. This is mainly due to the high process of the equipment and the technology needed. Now, I'm not sure what you mean here by process. Okay. Could it be that you're saying this is mainly due to the advanced technology of the equipment needed? For example, so maybe use technology in that first part. For example, the price of modern accumulators used for solar and eolic energy production could not be afforded by every country. Is not affordable instead of the passive here. Energy production is not affordable for every country. I would be careful with the use of eolic here as well, as it is quite an old-fashioned word and can be confused with architecture. So be a little bit careful. I would stick with wind energy here, so or energy from wind. So wind energy production is not affordable for every country. Moreover, the disposal of some used parts, such as solar panels and batteries, could be difficult and could cause environmental issues. Therefore, the utilisation of green energy can be quite expensive and could represent a technically difficult process to be carried on. A technically difficult process to maintain. Okay, so to keep going for a long time. Okay, well done, good. Okay, on the other hand, good, conventional energy production with its related environmental exploitation should be reduced and stopped because it demonstrated to be unsustainable for our planet. Okay, so here we need to put in a subclause. So on the other hand, conventional energy production, comma, with its related environmental exploitation, comma, should be reduced and stopped because it has been proved, has been proven, P-R-O-V-E-N, proven to be unsustainable for our planet. Okay, good. Green and removable energy, instead, constitute the unique solution to preserve the environment, and we have numerous examples from all over the world of how these new methods of energy extraction are feasible and efficient. So here, I think the word we're looking for here is green and sustainable energy rather than removable. I'm not sure what meaning you're thinking of for removable. So green and sustainable energy instead, possibly natural energy, constitute the unique solution to preserve the environment. And we have numerous examples from all over the world of how these new methods of energy extraction are feasible and efficient. Good. This is the case in Iceland, because we've already said numerous examples. So this is the case in Iceland, where energy production is 100% green. I would use a full stop there. Okay, so then capital T, this country's energy economy is in fact all based on hydroelectric, wind and geothermal energy, with significant economic and social benefits for all people living there. Good. Green energy is thus a feasible and convenient instrument to live in our planet, avoiding its destruction. Okay, so we could say green energy is thus a feasible and low impact method to live in our planet, avoiding destruction. Good, yeah, and low impact method to avoid destruction. Okay. In conclusion, I strongly believe that, although technologically demanding, green energy production and utilisation represent a feasible, economic and environmentally friendly solution which should be adopted by every country in the world. Okay, well done. This is a great conclusion. Very nice use of feasible, economic and environmentally friendly as well. By using 3 adjectives here, you will often see a pattern of 3 adjectives in writing, and it gives it a more sort of well-rounded sound. So that's a really nice way to summarize the end of your essay. I would suggest possibly, and I say this quite often, but possibly finishing your conclusion with a projection of what you think might happen in the future, or a prediction of what might happen in the future. So you've said you strongly believe that You could say, in my mind, for example, green energy is vital for the future, for example. Okay. But yes, a very good piece of writing in both instances there, your letter and this one. Very impressive range of vocabulary in here. It's very topic specific and very accurate for talking about green energy sources. So definitely something that you should be very happy with. As always, take on board those changes, and that will improve your writing immensely. It's already at a good level, so you should be very proud indeed. Well done.